Hi everyone. I wanted to do an introductory video to you all. I forgot to do that in the beginning because I became so excited about sharing my story and trying to educate people on all those amazing topics that are important to me that I forgot to tell you about myself. Okay, here we go. My name is April-Mae. When I was born, my first name was simply just April. But a few years ago, when I started having mental health challenges, I decided to add my mother's middle name onto my first name to pay tribute to her. No, my mom is still with us, but it was just a way to honor her as an amazing and magnificent mom. Okay, so we're going to get into who April-Mae is. April-Mae is the eldest child of 5 children. I have 2 younger brothers and 2 younger sisters. I'm also the mom to 5 children. I have 2 amazing sons, 3 amazing daughters. I'm a babishka, Bibi, which is grandmother in Slavic and Swahili. I'm an auntie and I'm a great auntie. So that is who I am, on an everyday basis, right? The reason I decided to start making these videos, actually, a friend encouraged me to do it because I enjoyed speaking. Even though speaking makes me nervous, I enjoy it because I'm able to educate so many people about certain mental health challenges. And being a Black woman and coming from the Black community, it was very important for me to put myself out there to share my story, my diagnoses of things that have occurred to me in life. Okay? Um, I still get frightened behind it, don't get me wrong, but it is imperative that I get this information out there if I am to help the next generation, which will be my children, my grandchildren, my great grandchildren, and so forth and so on, those generations. So, the topics that I discuss are like mental health challenges, grief, substance abuse, cancer, trauma, things that I've myself experienced. Okay, suicidal ideation. So, in December 2015 was the first time I was admitted into the hospital for suicidal ideation. I had 2 viable plans to commit suicide. So therefore, I voluntarily was admitted into the hospital for 7 days. It was quite an enlightening experience. It wasn't horrific or anything. Actually, I was treated quite well, by not only the staff but the other people there. So it wasn't a horrible experience. I wouldn't want to have done it again, but I have been admitted to the hospital several times afterwards. Okay. So that was my first experience with suicide. Then next, November 2016, I had some experiences when I went to visit my mom and my baby sister in Florida. Some of my alters presented to my mother, and that in and of itself frightened me because being the eldest child, I didn't want to humiliate my family by any of my own experiences. And I wasn't quite sure how to put everything together. I always want to be a beacon of light for my family, and I always want to be someone that they can be proud of. So it's quite scary. So when all of that came to kind of calm myself, I began to drink Moscato. Okay, I wasn't a big heavy drinker or anything like that, but it was a way for me to kind of calm my nerves. I was afraid that once my family knew about everything, that I would be institutionalized. I had this great fear of that since I was a young lady. But none of that happened. My family's very supportive and actually encouraging. I always check in with them before I start doing anything because I'm a reflection of them and I don't want to humiliate any of them. But they're supportive and encouraging. So that makes it a little bit easier for me. So what occurred, my next steps was because I had a fear that I was going to be an alcoholic. I've always been afraid of being addicted to things. I don't smoke or any of that. I never have. So I went to my therapist and I talked to them about me drinking, and I requested to be admitted into detox, which was in June 2017. So I was admitted into detox kind of like mid to late June, only to come and find out that I am not an alcoholic, but I'm what is called an emotional user. It is my way to escape from things, but I don't do it like constantly. I don't drink hard liquors or anything of that because I do have this fear of addiction. I really do. So I'm always kind of staying on top of it. But, along the line, I've been admitted to the hospital off and on for my mental health challenges. The last time that I was admitted into the hospital was October 2018 when my brother was murdered. I was the only one in my family knew about his murder, and therefore I had to sit April aside and put on my military uniform. I am an Air Force veteran, and complete my mission. And my mission was to tell my entire family that my brother was no longer with us. It was very scary and frightening because I was doing it all on my own. But the most significant part of that was hearing my mother scream, "My son." So I don't want to cry, but it was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life up to date. And so that was the last time that I was admitted into the hospital for 7 days. I still am on the road to healing, and I still deal with grief. As a matter of fact, in a few weeks, I will be attending grief therapy along with a trauma program to help me to face my traumas and to help me with coping skills. Okay, so I want you all to understand that we can have these mental health challenges and still be able to help other people and be happy in life. Okay, healing is an everyday process. Building is an everyday process. Dealing with grief is an everyday process. Recovering is an everyday process. Those things will always be with us. It is our daily journey once we enter into it. You will never reach a goal of it ending. It will always be with us. So don't get alarmed when you have relapses. It's just a part of our journeys in life. Okay, I still deal with depression. I still isolate. I still have anxiety attacks. I go through a lot of things, but I'm still here to let you all know you can be happy in this life. You can have a wonderful life. Okay, you are not your diagnosis, and you are not your experiences. I've dealt with domestic violence, sexual assaults, attempted rapes. I've dealt with a gamut of things in my experiences in my life. But those things don't define me. And as you can see, most people who know me, they know I'm happy. I'm happy-go-lucky. I literally have a joy for life. And my son, my oldest child, was able to put this in perspective for me. He said, "Mommy, you were able to take all of those bad things that happened to you and put them in a place so that you could go on in this life and be happy and be a wonderful mom." He said, "You are the evolved human. You're the new human." And man, that made me love myself and love everything about me and even embrace my altars. And one day I'm going to get into that with you all. Not today, though. Okay? So you see, you can still be happy in this life. You will have times, I won't lie to you, you will have times where you will start being pulled back down into that quicksand. But I'm here to let you know you can also just stand in it and you won't sink. Okay? So I am here for you all. I'm here to share myself with you, share my story and my life. Anything that I'm going through. I'm going to have you all with me when I'm on this journey of coping with the grief, the journey of being in the trauma program. I'm bringing you along with me. You know why? Because when I help you, I help me. Helping helps. You see what I'm saying? Helping helps the helper. Okay, if that makes sense. And I want you all to love yourselves for who you are. Everything that you see as a flaw is actually your beauty mark. Okay? I've dealt with things where I didn't like parts of my body. My nose has a little bit of hump right there. my sisters and mom have a straight nose. I didn't like that. But then I looked at my nose and I was like, oh my God, I'm a reflection of my ancestor. And I embraced it. Don't let society define who you are. So anytime I can help you with anything, if there's anything I can do for you, if there's anything you want me to talk about, please let me know, okay? I am open for you. I am here for you. I'll be as transparent as I can be, okay? Because I'm about honest living. Honest living is about truth speaking, truth seeking, truth living, and truth walking. And I'm walking in my truth. So I love you guys, and I hope that helped you get to know just a little bit about me. Mwah.